Hey, all you neighbors out there, Brian here from Neighbors Don't Knock. Minus Philip today. He is taking some much needed rest. But don't worry, we're going to have a great little episode for you. We're going to talk a little bit about some of those last minute Christmas gifts that you might want to get, maybe some hot items or some recommended items that we have found. Also, we're going to share a little bit of Christmas stories, and stay tuned to the end to find out about our special upcoming episode next week that you're not going to want to miss. Let's do it.
Welcome to Neighbors Don't Knock, the show that brings you hilarious, unapologetic conversations only these neighbors can have. Join them and guests in their weekly mission to expand the neighborhood. Now, here's your hosts, Brian Chambers and Philip Goffrey.
What's going on, guys? I guess this is Philip's stand-in today, if you can see him. Yeah, there we go. We got a little Han Solo. So what's going on, Philip? Yep. He says he's tired, so we're going to put him away. Anyway, what's going on, guys? Brian here from Neighbors Don't Knock. I hope you guys are all having a great Christmas holiday season, no matter how you spend it or what you do. We just want everyone to be safe and enjoy themselves during this time of cheer. But we're going to talk a little bit about some Christmas gifts. So I know a lot of you guys are always looking for last-minute gifts, or you say, oh, yeah, what do I get? You have that one family member, friend, or somebody that you can just never shop for. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about that and then share a little bit of, hopefully, some fun Christmas stories with you. But this was where we found, scouring the internet. We went on Better Homes and Gardens and several other sites, but we found this one to be pretty good. I'll put the link in the episode description if any of these hit your fancy. It had about 81 different things, and we're not going to go through all of them, of course, but I did want to share a couple of ones that I thought were actually worth mentioning. The first one I came across was AirTags. AirTags are really great. If you have an iPhone, they're specifically great for that. You can put them in your luggage, in bags, keychains, things like that. If you're losing things all the time, like me, and my wife says it constantly, I have one on my keychain, and then I have, when we travel specifically, especially if you're going out of town, they're really great just to put in as a, peace of mind, so you can know when your bags are being put on the plane and if they are at the airport and if they traveled with you. I don't know if you are one of those people that get a lot of anxiety about their luggage and things like that, but it just gives you that little peace of mind. And like I said, if you're losing things like your wallet, or a purse, or like part of your phone, you can tag it onto your phone, or your keys. Me, for my keys personally, they're really kind of great. And I'm not going to lie, I've used it way more to find my phone with my AirTag than I want to admit. So that's a good one. And they're relatively good, good price. You're looking at, like a $25, AirTag for one, or you can get, I think for like 100, you can get like a 4-pack or something like that. Another thing that people like, you have this EKG electric pour over kettle. So it's like a little single kettle that heats up, so you can put it anywhere, especially if you're someone that likes to travel, or, you have camping, if you're like one of those people. It's really kind of neat. You can get them on Amazon. Williams Sonoma, they're running about $165. It's Best Buy around the same price. Any warm beverages, you can control the exact temperature, and it comes in different colors, and it's kind of very stylish for your countertop. So if you're not one that likes to put on the stove and things like that, you can kind of put this little kettle anywhere you want. At the time of this being published, it was around $195. So if that's a little bit too high a price, that's I would probably recommend looking at something else. Now, this one, you guys have to let me know in the comments below about this one. I found this one. It was called the Bartesian Professional Cocktail Machine. Now, I didn't know what this was. I personally haven't even heard of these, but apparently they're very popular right now. And they're not cheap. They run probably about $400. Between around $400 or $450, depending which model you get. There's like there's smaller models and then there's the bigger ones. And what it is you put your favorite beverages, liquors and things like that in these 4 containers, at least for the 4 one. There's another one with just 2. And you screw them on and they sit in there, and then you have these little pods that you put in there, and it's kind of like it's not but it's like a Keurig or one of those, coffee machine type things. But it's for cocktails. And so they have, margaritas or Long Island iced teas or whatever your choice is. You can buy different pouches, and they usually come with about 6 pouches, which run about $15 just for the pouches. And then you put it in there, and then you set it, and it makes your cocktail, taking, whatever liquors that you obviously putting the correct liquors you need for the drink in the cylinders, and it makes a cocktail. And so if you just want to just decide, I'm going to do a party, we're going to be serving these 2 cocktails or whatever, you can already hook up a little machine with all the, all your liquor in there, and just put the pot in and just make drinks pretty easy. It's kind of a cool concept. I'm one of those that I hate buying pods all the time personally. And for something around like $400, I mean, it has to be something I really, really want to use. But if you're one that likes to make cocktails, but you hate all the hassle of trying to mix and do all that, this might be a gift. Or if you're thinking of someone that is in this boat, I think it could be a real cool gift. It was around $450 at the time of publishing, when they published this, but it is a very popular thing. Another great idea that we came across was actually making a scent or a perfume. A lot of these places now you can go in some of the stores, and they actually will help you create like a scent or a very specific kind of perfume for or cologne for male or female, or whoever you might want to just get a nice little scent. That's kind of neat. Takes a little bit more creativity and more time for that one, but if you got the time, it's a really neat idea. I highly recommend it. Another one is there's all this club things, right? There's a wine club or a coffee club. Those are things that if you know that someone is really into it, you can kind of get them like a 2 or 3 month starter of the club, and if they want to continue it after that, then they can keep going. If you're someone that likes to do that, I know there's different ones like jelly clubs. There's all kinds of them out there. It just kind of depends what you're looking for. They can run you anywhere for like $42 a month, and you can get, like I said, you could see what the pricing is, and if they require like a 2 or 3 month minimum, then you can do that, and then it's up to the person if they want to continue it. Or if you want to go all out, get them like for the full year. Hey, everyone needs wine, everyone needs coffee, everyone needs vegetables and jelly and meats. There's I think a steak club or a meat, you can, if you're one of those people. But anyway, it's a neat idea. It's something different that kind of keeps coming to your door. It's like the gift that keeps on giving, right? A couple more. I thought this one was really cool. It's the AeroGarden Harvest Slim. So if you're looking for someone that is a garden lover, likes fresh ingredients, they are used by having like their own artificial light and your own seeds, and you grow your own herbs and garden things, and it can be inside. So the great thing about this is that you don't have to have an outdoor garden area. You can do this inside if you have an apartment or a small house without a lot of space. It is one of those things that is really great. They run on Amazon about a little over like $100, anywhere between $100 and $125. Home Depot, you can find them for about $130. So there's other places to get them, or you can go to their website, the aerogarden.com. A lot of other things just for little small gifts and things like that. If you're not looking to spend a lot, it's always kind of cool to get some candles, or you can get those temperature-controlled smart mugs for those that love coffee or hot chocolate and things like that. A lot of us down here in Houston don't get super cold days like you guys up in the Northeast do, but it's always nice some days, even when it's in the 40s and 50s, to have a nice hot drink in front of you, and or those rainy days, it's always really, really nice. The other thing that as I get older, it's funny because you don't think about, as a kid, you don't think about I want socks, I want pajamas. Oh, I want like a robe, slippers, things like that. It's very funny how you kind of change with that. But I definitely need socks. So anybody out there, I go through socks. I don't know what happens to my socks, but I end up with holes in my socks all the time. So I'm constantly getting socks. That's always a good thing. And if you like to kind of be comfy and relax, a nice pair of pajamas there, that you can either lounge in or just, don't underestimate that, I think it's really kind of a cool thing. My wife was given this gift of these slippers. And she's like, well, I don't know if I'm going to wear these much. And then she put them on. They were so soft. And she's like, oh, I think I'm going to be wearing these. And I think it was really, really kind of cool. So never underestimate the power of pajamas or socks or slippers or anything like that. For any of you guys that have friends that are travelers out there, getting some new luggage or, travel accessories, toiletry bags, things like that. There's lots of different travel accessories that you can get for friends and family, which is always useful, right? I will say, as far as the luggage thing goes, if you are looking to get someone new luggage, we've always been a fan of Tumi, but again, that's really, really pricey. So if you're not willing to go into that bracket, you can try a different one. The Away, the big carry-on, or even the either the big carry-on or even the smaller carry-on for Away, which is the brand, and no, this is not sponsored by Away, they're really great. My wife and I actually got a pair of them. They run around anywhere between around $250 to $300, I guess depending on which size you get. There's a smaller one and there's a bigger one. They're a hard shell, and the way that they're built and the way that they are, I was very, very impressed. I went into the store. I was sitting there and I was like, no, I'll let him make his pitch. And he did a great job, and it wasn't that he was the best salesman. He was a really nice guy, but the product itself was just wonderful. And we use them, and we've traveled overseas, and it's like my everyday carry-on now that I use. So I highly recommend those. That's a personal recommendation. So if you are looking for luggage, I would say check out the Away brand over there, especially if you want a high-end but not spending absorbent amount of money. It's a very reasonably priced. So I highly recommend that one. Last but not least, I could be here suggesting things for hours. If you have pet lover friends, always going by and getting something for their dog, for their furry friend. That's always, when you're taking care of, they take care of their dogs. It's always nice when you give something for them. So those would be some recommendations. Great things. There's so many things out there that you guys can do. If you're looking to be more of the creative type and make your gift, baking is always a great route to go if you are someone that likes to be in the kitchen. I'm not super great at all the crafts and things like that, but if you are one of those, man, more power to you. But these are just a couple of recommendations. But let me know in the comments below, what would be your top 2 or 3 items this Christmas that you think are a great idea for those that are still looking for family and friends for those gifts. Speaking of Christmas, we like to connect, and we're talking about getting gifts for families and friends and things like that. Well, I thought it would be kind of fun if we just connected with a friend of mine. It's always great to pick up the phone, call somebody, see how they're doing. Christmas time and the holiday season, it just lends itself to that a little bit more. And I think it's something that we tend to lose a little bit. And here, as on Neighbors Don't Knock, we love to expand our neighborhood and reach out. But it's always good to see how everyone in your neighborhood is doing in existing neighborhoods. Today I'm going to reach out to a friend and see how they're doing this Christmas. So let's check it out.
Hey, dude.
Hey, what's going on?
How's it going?
I'm doing all right. What's going on, my friend?
Hey, Brian. Good to hear from you.
It's great, man. For those of you that are listening right now, I am reaching out to a former roommate from college and good friend, Mr. Stuart Armstrong. Stuart
Allegedly.
How is your family doing and everything? Everyone's doing really well. You're busy?
Busy. Yeah, it's a busy time of year for us.
Yeah. Okay. Have you done all your Christmas shopping and stuff like that?
I think so. By that, I mean, I haven't started.
All right. Well, it's funny because we're just talking about on the show some last minute Christmas gift ideas. Are you still shopping for your kids, or are you shopping for your wife? What? Or for
my
everybody?
wife.
For
I think
everyone?
the kids are good.
You think the kids are
well,
good?
I mean, yeah, but they never really are. So yeah, until D-Day.
Yeah, right. Okay. I'm not. Again, I'm gonna take a wild stab here. Maybe some recommended gifts. Is she a coffee drinker?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, you can always go. You can do like a coffee club or whatever if she likes trying different coffees.
There you go.
That's one. Another one I might suggest to you, Stu. Does she have a very specific perfume or style that she likes?
Yeah, that's always a safe bet, right?
That's a safe bet. You can even take it a step further and maybe make her own scent and create her own perfume.
Hey, that is a good idea. Someone did that for me for a cologne.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. All right. And it wasn't a train wreck or whatever.
No, it worked out.
Okay, great. Yeah. Besides Christmas and everything, man, how have you been? What have you been up to? Anything new that you can share?
I don't have anything really interesting to share.
Family's keeping you that busy, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. I would have something interesting to share, but we're busy.
Okay. Are you guys planning? Are you guys planning to go anywhere for the holidays? Or are you planning to stay home?
I think we're staying home for the most part.
And do you guys have what would be your family traditions on Christmas now? Because I know that things start to change. What's on Christmas Day, or Christmas Eve? What's kind of the Armstrong? What's happening in the Armstrong household?
Well, we do a Christmas present on Christmas Eve 1. That's a tradition. That's fun.
I like the one. I hate because Santa doesn't come until the morning, right? So you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like Lay's. Is it Lay's? You can't just have one. You can't just have one. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a little bit like that. But
you've already opened the gateway drug, right?
yeah. Except the presents don't have grease on them, so we're it's okay.
There you go. Okay, so you guys do the one, and then Christmas, you guys spend with the family comes over, or do you just do a big just you guys, and then meet with other people later?
Yeah, we do that. The latter.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I think my brother does the same thing. It's always nice to kind of do the core family stuff and then as the day
then you
gets
can
great.
venture out.
Exactly.
And then we go to a Christmas Day party every year that our friends have. So.
Well, nice, man. Well, I don't want to keep you too long, but I appreciate what's going. You catching up just for a few minutes with us. Do you have any neighborly advice for the holiday season?
I do give your neighbors gifts and offer to help them and keep the Christmas spirit in mind.
I like that one.
And knock before you go in their back door.
That's not what we do on our show. We just walk right in.
I know.
But if you're walking in, especially to somebody like Stuart's house, I would probably suggest to knock. So for all friends and family, listen up, just knock. Well, Stuart, I want to wish you and your family a very happy Christmas, man. It's been too long. I love hearing and catching up with you. But
likewise, man.
Yeah, but definitely tell the family I said hey, and hopefully we'll get you back on the show another time.
All right. Take care, Brian. Good to talk to you.
All right, bye. So that was my good friend and old roommate from college, Stuart Armstrong, a great guy. Wishing them and all of my friends and family and everyone that we know out there on the show a very Merry Christmas. Okay, so as promised, we're going to get into a little bit, just a fun little Christmas story, okay? These are just very brief stories, so we're going to set the mood here. Okay, so these are humorous Christmas stories, right? Because that's what happens on Christmas. Things of humor come up, right? This one's called The Wrong Gift. And it says, the parents began to assemble the special Christmas gift they had for their children. Okay? They had ordered a kit for a treehouse and received the plans for it. However, the materials that they received were for a sailboat. They wrote the company to complain. The company's reply, quote, while we regret the inconvenience this mistake must have caused you, it is nothing compared to that of the man who is out on a lake somewhere trying to sail your treehouse, end quote. That was from Bud Brooks Stamping Ground, Kentucky. And yeah, I gotta say, that would suck if you got the treehouse and needed the boat. So anyway, so the wrong gift. So make sure you guys are checking those gifts before you start putting them together, right? Another one. It says, God's not deaf. 2 young boys were spending the night at their grandparents' house the week before Christmas. At bedtime, the 2 boys knelt beside their beds to say their prayers. The younger one began praying at the top of his lungs. Quote, I pray for a new bicycle. I pray for a new Nintendo. His older brother leaned over, nudged him, and said, why are you shouting? God isn't deaf. To which the little brother replied, no, but Grandma is. So be kind to your parents and your grandparents, kids out there. One more that we have. One more. Actual children's versions of Christmas carols. Sleep in Heavenly Peace is one. Joy to the world, the Savior reigns, R-A-I-N-S. This is he whom seers of old. And another one, angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plain, P-L-A-N-E. And one more, while shepherds washed their socks by night. That's great. Anyway, I thought that was just a wonderful, wonderful little way to kind of cap off this episode. So some fun Christmas stories. Okay, as promised, I wanted to let you guys know a little bit about what's coming up in our future episodes, because we have a great episode, 2-part episode coming up in the next week and following. Just in time for Christmas, we had the privilege to sit down with owner of the Houston Toy Museum, owner and curator of the Houston Toy Museum right here. Matt was gracious, and we had an in-depth interview with him, and he showed us around the shop. We talked history of toys, a lot of different dynamics that toys bring, from everything from the early 1900s all the way up to present day. He has some really cool things in that shop, so you're really going to want to check out that episode. It's really great. We had a fabulous, fabulous time talking with Matt, and we thank him for that. But you're going to want to check out that episode next Friday, and it'll be a 2-part. So if you miss it, then you can catch the next part. But as always, you can subscribe to the podcast so you never miss when those episodes are going to drop. But as I said before, we want to wish everybody a very happy and Merry Christmas, no matter what you do, how you spend it, who you spend it with. We hope you're being safe out there. Also, subscribe to the podcast. Hit that little link, that little notification bell so you never miss when new content is dropped. It would really help us out here on the channel. We drop new episodes every Friday. Philip will be back with me soon, but for all of us here at Neighbors Don't Knock, we wish you a Merry Christmas, and make sure to stay tuned for that toy episode from the Houston Toy Museum next week. We'll see you guys later. Merry Christmas. Peace out.
These are the good times with you. Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me. Hang by the fire and chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories.